Today, we have a brand new update from RooCode, which is a free AI agent you can use for coding. And one of the biggest improvements on this is that you can actually use a more powerful version of Gemini, right? So Gemini is Google's latest API, and obviously they've got Gemini 2.5 Pro that's just been released. And you can now integrate this in a smarter way with RooCode to create some of the best designs and some of the most powerful apps and tools and websites you've ever created. So the way this works with this new update, and it just came out, like you can see right here, let's pull up RooCode. So if we discard these changes, you can see the changes right here. So RooCode 3.11 has been released. And basically this gives you faster edits. So you can edit way faster, less wait and more coding. Again, this is a free tool, and also the API key from Gemini, Google Gemini, is free as well. Comes with improved Gemini support, so smarter retries, fixed escaping. Basically, what this is going to do is just help you save money and use Gemini in a better way, kind of like you would use Claude or something like that. It's just as powerful, but obviously Claude costs a lot of money. And I was actually speaking to one of the developers from RooCode earlier today, and they were saying they spend $150 a day on Claude, whereas now they use Gemini, and it's completely free to use inside RooCode. Pretty awesome stuff. And also you get a project level MCP config. So basically you can configure MCPs project by project instead of like overall. And you can also see your API key balances. So let me show you exactly how this works. If we go into our settings over here, what we need to do is grab a Google Gemini API key, and we'll test how this works. Now, I haven't had time to properly test it out yet. Obviously, it is a brand new update, but I wanted to get this to you quickly. So we'll see how this performs, and we'll give it a whirl together and ride around the track together, right? So I'm going to copy this API key, which I'll delete in a second after this video. And then we're going to go back to Visual Studio Code. If you don't have Visual Studio Code, you can get it at code.visualstudio.com. And then from here, we're going to plug in that API key. Like you can see right here, we're going to select the latest version, which is Gemini 2.5 Pro. We'll hit save, we'll hit done, boom. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, create a simple SEO cost calculator, just see what this looks like and how it works, etc. What should happen here is, number one, that we don't rinse the credits so quickly, I think. And then number two, it should be a lot faster. Plus, it should require less clicking and messing around and that sort of thing. So I'm going to allow also automatic switch modes so it can switch without requiring approval. And also I'm going to allow it to create and complete subtasks on its own. So we'll hit save like so. And hopefully that just allows us to code a lot faster. Then we can click this down arrow to just keep going here. Again, this is not costing you anything, which is great because, you know, normally you'd have to pay quite a bit of money to use Claude 3.7 Sonnet, which is, you know, kind of like the equivalent right now when it comes to coding. So wait for this to load. Does seem like you have to do more clicking than usual. I'm pretty sure before, like, you just had to. There we go. All right, we've got this ready to go. So we've created the SEO cost calculator. It didn't run out of credits like Google Gemini used to do quite often. You have to switch between OpenRouter and then Google Gemini and then different things. And we're going to hit run command in a second. So we'll run this command and let's see what we get. Boom. Look at that. SEO cost calculator ready to go. So looking pretty nice. It updates automatically, I think. So if we change the keyword numbers here, you can see the estimated monthly cost setting up right there. This is just 10 times easier to use. Now, the other thing that I saw is that it comes with an API key balance. So I'm just going to test it out. We'll log into Anthropic right here and grab an API key and then test this out. Wait for that to load. It's taking its sweet time there. Look at that. Loading. How long do you want to take, mate? All right, so we'll go back to Visual Studio Code. Maybe I've already got one plugged in from somewhere else. All right, and we're going to click on Anthropic. Do we have the API key balance? I can't see it right there. We'll hit save, we'll hit done. I can't see an API key balance from what I've got. So that's stuck on loading. Inside RooCode, it should give us the API key balance. Configuration profile under settings and providers. Let's check this out. So if we check our API key inside the settings, yeah, there's no balance right there, unless I've not updated properly, but I'm 99% sure that is not quite working the way we want it to do. So just something to be aware of there, but it does seem better with Gemini. And there's also an import and export settings section. So let's try and find that. So at the bottom here, basically what you can do, for example, I could export my settings and then I could give that to you to import my settings into your profile on RooCode, which means that, it's quick and easy. And also, if you had like multiple settings and different styles that you want for coding, you could export them, import them whenever you're ready to switch between different settings right here. And we've got the project level MCP config. So let's check that out. We're going to go back to the RooCode updates right here. And if we go, we've got project level MCP config. So you go to the MCP server section, and then we should see a configuration for global and also editing the project side by side. So let's check that out right now inside Visual Studio Code. We'll go back to RooCode, and we shall go to, I think it's this section. Here we go, right? So if you click on this, you've got the MCP server section, and you can see what's set up globally and also what's set up by project, all right? So if we click on project, we have to open up a project folder first. But once we've done that, we can edit the project MCP settings. And also the same with global MCP, so we can edit right there. If you want to install MCP, it's pretty simple inside RooCode. So what you can do once we've done that is you can just import it right here. So you can get the GitHub, the MCP, and then you're good to go on that. All right. So for example, if we wanted to install, like, for example, GitHub Perplexity, we can just grab that and then plug it into Visual Studio Code inside a new window. All right. And then we can install MCP servers as well. Normally, to be honest, I'm using Klein for installing MCPs because they have a marketplace. It's like quite easy to like find what you want and then just go, right, boom, install that. Pretty simple and easy. But you get the point. So let's do some more tests now and we'll see how much better this is. So I want to check something right here. So we should have that. Okay, let's start a new task here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my previous prompts from other tests. We'll grab some of these and just use it. So I'm going to say, okay, develop an AI-powered client success tracker for Goldie Agency's clients to monitor their automation results. All right. Then we're going to go back to Visual Studio Code and we shall select Google Gemini inside the settings. I think we're at the point now where we don't need to use the Claude 3.7 Sonnet API anymore, which is great because it saves us a lot of time, saves us a lot of money, and also we don't seem to hit the limits as frequently as we previously were. So let's see how this goes. We'll run this command step by step. See how it's going. And it's creating that app right now. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be hitting the limits at all. So you can see it's creating the app, running that command, etc. And you can also switch here between code, architect, ask, and debug. But if you actually allow it in the settings, right? So if you click on here and then allow switch modes, you can automatically switch modes without having to do all that, right? So if you want to switch between each one, it's quite easy and simple to do that. What we can also do is like code 2 projects at the same time. That is going to rinse more Gemini credits, but you can do your magic inside both of these and code 2 different projects at the same time. So for example, if we wanted to create like an AI growth calculator lead magnet, we can go back to the other window we just set up. Yeah, it does seem to be hitting limits right there, but then let's have a look what it's doing. Yeah, so this doesn't make you immune from the limits, but it will keep retrying and just keep going until it's done, right? So if you're using Google Gemini in 2 different windows, that seems to still rinse the credits a bit too much, and then you get this error. So it's better than it was. It's not 100% from what I can see, but the other thing you can do here is like if you go back to your settings, then switch to something like Open Router, and then select Google Gemini 2.5 Pro there as well. We'll hit done, and then when it retries now, that should work. There we go, boom. All right, and then it can like install Superbase and everything else. So pretty powerful stuff, pretty easy to set up. Not too bad at all. and it's doing its magic as well. So if you still get that problem with Gemini, just switch between the two settings, and then we're good to go on that. I'm just going to X off this. Then let's try a couple more prompts right now. So this is all inside the AI Profit Boardroom, by the way. If you want to get access to all this stuff, you can go inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And this comes with 648 members, all focused on making more money and saving time with AI. Link in the comments description. Prices are literally about to go up, so make sure you sign up now and lock in your legacy price. And if you get stuck in between different sessions, then you can actually post inside the community and ask us. And if you want weekly Q&As, you can jump on the weekly Q&A calls, like you see right here. There's actually one happening tomorrow if you sign up now, so make sure you don't miss out. But let's keep going through some of the other prompts right here, and we can test, okay, what else do we want to build here? So I'm going to try this one. Create a sleek conversion-focused landing page, and we'll go inside RooCode. Just going to switch back to Google Gemini over here. There we go. Hit save, hit done, boom. Hit enter. Hopefully this works. Definitely seems to be a lot faster. And you can see now it's creating the file and it's coding over here. One thing to note as well is, like, depending on the complexity of the task that you're building, you're going to use more credits, right? So for example, if you're using Google Gemini to build out like a simple landing page or a simple calculator, it's not going to use that many credits, right? Whereas, for example, if you are using and building something quite complex, like an app with a front end and a back end at the same time using AI, then that's going to rinse more credits, and then you're going to hit the limits quicker. So if you want to not run into issues with Google Gemini and that sort of thing, then just make sure that you keep your projects and your prompts simple, right? The more you simplify it, the less credits it's going to use. The less credits it's going to use, the less you're going to hit that limit. All right, so we'll keep going now. So it's created that, task completed, boom shakalaka, that was easy. We'll run the command and we've got that page ready to go right here, right? It's created a whole website ready to go. The other cool thing as well is with Google Gemini, if we go back to this page, for example, we can take a screenshot of this page that is created. I can go back inside Visual Studio Code and say, here's a page you've created. And then I'm going to use a little prompt here that we've got. We're going to say modern, sleek, attention-grabbing color scheme, make it more attention-grabbing, okay? And then we can just iteratively like go back and forth inside the chat and keep improving things. So we'll approve that, and now it's going to adjust the style CSS. Wait for that to load. But again, it is hitting the limits way less frequently than it used to, which is great. So that's saving us a lot of time right there. And then we open it up and we've got the new version of the page, right? So it's changed the color scheme, made it a bit more modern, etc. Definitely needs a bit more work, but you get the point. I want to test that side by side versus Claude now. I still think Claude is better, right? If we go to the settings over here, and then we're going to switch over to Anthropic, hit save, hit done. And then I'm going to use exactly the same prompt here and just see which one is giving me better results, right? Because if we open up a new window here and we'll set up a new page, right? So a new folder, and we'll call this Claude automation page. I want to compare side by side, which one is performing the best. So open that up, then we'll go back to RooCode over here. We're going to use exactly the same prompt that we used previously inside RooCode. You can use the AI as well to improve things here. And then we're going to hit enter and see what we get back. X off there. All right, so basically what we're doing here, if you're not sure what's going on. So we've got Gemini in this window, and that's created the page that we just previewed. And then I want to compare the outputs versus Claude and see like which one is actually better. Because I'm pretty sure Claude could do a better job on that. when it comes to creating a page like this. But we'll see. We'll see what we get back. All right, so it seems to have coded it out. Check this out. Yeah, so it's still coding a little bit. Let's create the HTML. Now it's creating the CSS. I'm wondering as well which one is the best at copywriting, but we'll test that in a sec. And you can see it's creating like the navigation and everything too. Definitely takes a lot longer though. If you compare like the time that it took with Claude versus Gemini, Gemini seems to be way faster at coding, but really what matters is the quality of the output. So we'll test these in a sec and see what we get back. And that's just going to create the GS, so the JavaScript. Yeah, so you can see it goes back and forth with the JS and the JavaScript and the CSS and everything else, right? So it's going to create a mock-up now. This is interesting. So it's actually creating like an SVG image of the mock-up, but it failed at that point. Maybe it's creating a PNG. I've never seen this before. So it's creating like an image of the mock-up for the dashboard. Oh, we're struggling with that one. Right, I'm going to cancel that, and we're just going to say, okay, show me a preview, sunshine. Let's hopefully launch this. All right, so it's opening up. I mean, this is the other benefit of Claude, is like you can actually get it to use browser use inside here. But look at this, Claude is totally broken on us, to be fair. If you look at the time that it takes to code, I mean, it's getting all sorts of errors here. It's struggling with browser use. This might be the turning point where we see actually Gemini, which is free and built the task perfectly in one go, versus Claude, which is totally got lost in the process and has given us all sorts of errors, right? So this is Claude, this is Gemini. Gemini was like, boom, here you go, here's your website. Claude is like, we've got errors, we're trying to create PNGs we can't create. Yeah, I mean, why would you use Claude right now? Let's test this out anyway. We'll see what the output is like. So we're going to run the command on the index.html. And we'll compare these side by side. So this is the output that we get on RooCode with Claude. All right. And this is the output that we get with Gemini. Now, Gemini was a lot faster and easier to use with less errors. Claude took a lot longer, had some errors, and it obviously cost us money. Let's see how much it costs us. So that was the API cost from Gemini. And then this has cost us 40 cents to build out. And look at that. Like, there's nothing here. If you go on responsive mode, there's nothing here, mate. That's not a website. That's a blank page with a couple of headlines. All right. So, I mean, clearly Gemini is number one, a lot better on this RooCode update. Number two, it's free. Number three, it's faster. And number four actually gives us a better quality output, especially on responsive mode. So, I mean, that shows you how powerful RooCode is. Pretty awesome to see, pretty powerful. And honestly, why would you use Claude at this point? Like, Gemini does its magic and it does it faster, easier, cheaper, and better. So, thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all my best prompts, tips, workflows, etc., feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom link in the comments and description. And inside the AI Profit Boardroom, you'll learn how to make more money, save time, and grow your business with AI. Top of that, it comes with weekly Q&A, so you can jump on live calls with us. There's one tomorrow if you want to jump on a live call. If you can't make them, we'll record them, and you can watch them back inside the classroom right here. And additionally, this comes with all my best automations like email, social media, AI agents, web automation scraping, SEO automation, NA10 agents, and not to mention an insane amount of SOPs on pretty much everything you could ever imagine. So feel free to get that. Prices are going up today, so make sure you sign up before you miss out. And additionally, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how to get more customers, leads, sales to your business, feel free to get that link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free custom tailored game plan. You'll discover the secrets of SEO link building. We'll answer any questions you have, and you'll learn the best link building strategy for your websites. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching.